You hear that? That's the awkward silence of a family dinner after you just got caught vaping. Most vapes contain high levels of nicotine and disappointment. Brought to you by The Real Cost and the FDA.
Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode I will be talking about pretty much what's going on right now. I tried to record some gaming videos earlier and my Xbox, it ain't working, so it ain't like more so a problem that I'm facing. It's a major, if you go to the website, it says it's a major outage going on right now with all Xbox Live. It's a major outage. They claim things is up and running, or wait a second. Oh, so no, they're just letting us know. So it's a major outage with account and profiles, stores and subscriptions, multiplayer games, and cloud gaming. But online safety and family is good. Friends and social activities is good. Sharing and broadcasting is good. Devices and networking is good. Support and service, games and gaming, and app and mobile. All that stuff is good, but you just can't sign in. And I was trying to sign in earlier, and I couldn't. So it was funny because I did a video a while ago, what to do when your Xbox is not working. And because it's on all consoles, because I know there's still people out there that still have the Xbox One, and I have the Xbox Series X. And I feel like every time when I mention I have the Xbox Series X, I feel like I'm bragging. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just letting y'all know, even on the new consoles, it's messing up too. So, but no. So I made a video. So this had it happened a while ago where it was if you have connection issues, always go to the Xbox Live status website, and it'll let you know whether it's you or whether it's everybody. And so yeah, if it's if they say major outage or there's things that's messing up, then yeah, it's everybody. But if it's you, then most likely you just have a bad connection, or you just gonna have to do some troubleshooting with your Xbox. But yeah, there's been times where I've done videos to help people and stuff when Xboxes or PlayStations are messing up. I remember I did a PlayStation one and people wasn't liking it, and I'm well, if you, and I think it was that video. So I had the OG PlayStation 4, right? And so the OG PlayStation 4, the gigahertz that it would run was only 2.4. 2.4 is not that good. You need a 5 gigahertz PlayStation in order to download games fast, have a good connection when playing online. Because if you don't, it's just going to be slow. Games is going to take forever to download. I'm telling you, I remember that there is at times where I would play certain video games, and I would have to either keep my my PlayStation on the whole day downloading the game, or it would or I would just have to overall wait and just wait a long period of time. But no, there was at times where I would download the latest Call of Duty or something. If you guys know, all Call of Duty games be running up to 60 plus gigabytes. So yeah, it'll probably be at the end of the day, maybe the next day. There's been, I think the longest I remember, it was a week, because I kept turning on and off my PlayStation to play a little bit on there. So really the only thing that I could do was play single player games. That's pretty much what that PlayStation is, and that's what they need to tell people, hey, just let you know, this PlayStation is more catered to people that's going to be playing single player games, but the 5 gigahertz PlayStation, that's more towards people, the audience that's going to be playing online. Me, I'm both. I'll play online and single player, but I'm bruh, that PlayStation. So I remember I made a video saying, telling people hey, if you want to have a better connection, or if you've noticed this issue, if you have the OG PlayStation, you're gonna have to no, it's not even an either, it's up for discussion. No, you are gonna have to go out and get you a new PlayStation if you're experiencing downloading or connection issues, because there's games that would I guess it was more optimized for a PlayStation, that the 5 gigahertz PlayStation. And yeah, I would be playing certain games and they'll be lagging, going crazy. And what's crazy about it is that I also had the OG Xbox One, right? All games ran at 5 gigahertz. All games ran at 5 gigahertz. So that's where I'm like, bro, wait a minute. What? Like, both of these consoles came out around the same time, but yet one is better than the other. But people were up for the discussion saying that, oh, this is like, I guess maybe if I'm playing a single player game on PlayStation, that's really that they got going for them and stuff. But other than that, like, yo, I be wanting to play online. Like, that's why I be getting games. Like, I wanted, because I'm like, I have that feature. I'm paying a yearly subscription to play online games. So I figured, no, I'm going to get my money's worth. I want to play some online games. The fact that that console got released and you couldn't even play like the games that you wanted to play and stuff, I'm like, yeah, you have to understand, like, people ain't gonna be with that. So yeah, I remember once when I discovered that and figured it out, I was like, oh, well, then that makes sense and stuff. So I'm like, yeah. So I remember I went out, got me the PlayStation Slim because they wasn't going for that much money and things. So I remember I got the PlayStation Slim, and I think that's why I also got it, because and then that's another crazy thing about the PlayStation. So I'm going to be pretty much talking about the stuff that's going on with both Xbox and PlayStation today, because I seen some crazy stuff with PlayStation that they said that if you have the 500 gigabyte PlayStation 4, that you won't be able to, I guess, play Call of Duty anymore, because they're all like, it's like windy outside. But anyways, no, there's all like, you won't be able to play the new Call of Duty because I guess the memory is just too big for it or somewhere. It just can't run that game. And I'm like, wow, that is wild. That's wild to think that we're in a point in time where it's like games can't even run on consoles anymore. Like, that's crazy to me, because I'm like, I always have played console games. I grew up playing mainly on my PlayStation 2. A little bit on the Xbox 360. I did have a PlayStation 3, but I had to say I ain't played as much. I mean, I remember there was a point in time where I actually had stopped playing video games. I remember when I was young and I had stopped playing video games. I think on top of that, I think it was, well, actually, I take that back. I wouldn't say that I stopped. I think I remember it was around that time. When did the Nintendo, the Wii came out? Nintendo Wii. That, or I should maybe put like release date. Release day 2006? For real? Huh. I guess maybe it did. And then then the PlayStation 3, I remember I did get the PlayStation 3, and then I mainly played on the, it's like super windy outside. I hope they didn't mess up the power or anything. But anyways, but yeah, now I remember I did get a PlayStation 3. I played a little bit on that, but I remember playing a lot of Mario Kart. So I think there was that point in time where I just really wasn't interested in playing on the PlayStation 3. Plus, on top of that, I didn't get like internet until like 3 years after I had got the PlayStation 3. So yeah, it was one of those things where I'm like, playing online, that was like, once when I was able to do that, that was like a key thing that I wanted to always do, was play online. So I think I did like that last year, but then I remember my friends, they all had Xboxes, and so I remember getting the Xbox, and then once I was like, yeah, it was over with after that. I played the crap ton on the Xbox 360, but then but it was with the Xbox One, I have to say I did play a little bit on that, but I feel like, I don't know, it's like neck and neck between them two. But anyways, no, I remember like right when I had got the Xbox One, or the Xbox 360, PlayStation had just went out. PlayStation, so they had pretty much like what's going on with Xbox today. That happened to PlayStation, but it went on for months. I think it wasn't until the summer of that next year, because I remember I got my Xbox 360 that Christmas. It was the summer of that next year. That's when PlayStation was like, or that's when they came back online. But you would turn on your PlayStation and it wouldn't work. And I had put it to the test to see, and it didn't work. And so then I remember, I think that's when my uncle, I remember he went out and got himself an Xbox, because he was like, if he's playing video games, I'm like, yeah, it's like, I want to play my games. Like, I don't want to be sitting here waiting until they decide to come back online. I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. So yeah, that's crazy. I was like, man, that is some wild stuff that they'll do that, or they didn't fix it. But anyways, and I'm hoping that that's the case with this. Like, they fix it right away with Xbox, because I'm like, yo, I plan on live streaming tonight. I know they came out with that new. It seemed like right after that new update for the Call of Duty game came out, then that's when it was like the Xboxes had started messing up. I ain't really hear too much about PlayStation. Let me see real quick, please. PS4. I just heard that news with the PS4 that they was like, you can't download or you can't play the new Call of Duty. There's like, Activision admits the complete Call of Duty experience no longer fits on the original PlayStation 4. Dang, that's crazy. That is some crazy stuff. But I guess like it does make sense, because like, yo, the original PlayStation 4 came out years ago. When did that thing? Hold on for a second. I think that came out in like 2014, I think. Original PS4 release date. That came out in 2013, so actually the year before. But yeah, that thing's almost like 8 years. It is almost 8 years old. But yeah, it's like in November 15th of this year, it'll be officially 8 years old. That thing is old, bruh. Like, nah, it's like it's time to upgrade. But it's like they're not really releasing a whole lot of Xboxes and PlayStations and stuff, the new ones. And so that's like, people are like, they want to play on that. They don't want to continue going out and buying a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One. They want to go out and get the new console. So yeah, I think people, they're just not overall like having it with video games right now. There's just way too much going on with video games right now, especially today. I just thought that was crazy how it's like, if you do have the original PlayStation 4, you're not going to be able to play Call of Duty. I'm like, dang, that's horrible. Like, that is messed up. But I'm like, at the same time, it's like, it is an old console. That's like you trying to run the new Call of Duty on the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2s was not equipped for that. Like, yeah, once when technology just started evolving and stuff, yeah, that's when they was all like, nah, we're overall gonna have to upgrade these games, because it's just not gonna be working like how we want it to work. So yeah, it's like you thought you were gonna experiencing some slow connections. Now you're gonna really be experiencing some slow connections trying to play. That's where I'm like, when they Cyberpunk came out and everybody was like getting on it and stuff. And I'm like, you have to sit down and think about it. Do you have a system that is equipped to run that game? Because if not, then of course the graphics is gonna be bad. Everything else is, and it's like, then on top of that, you didn't give the developers a whole lot of time to like really polish the game and work on it. So yeah, I thought that was great. Oh, speaking of video games that didn't do so well, Anthem. Now, I feel like this is going to be the last thing I talk on today for video games, but so if you guys remember, there's this video game that EA had released a few years back called Anthem. So Anthem at the time being was like one of the biggest games that come out that year. Everybody was talking on it. Everybody was going pre-ordering it, buying it, playing. Even I was all like, they had like some creepy looking things in that game that I just don't really like, but I got the game anyways. I got the game because I'm like, yo, this game looked like it's going to be fun. I'm just going to have to see past all the weird stuff that they have in it, but I have to play this game. So, Anthem comes out. Immediately just crashed and crumbled. Like, I've seen like very few release dates of games where it's like they didn't do so hot. No Man's Sky being one of them. Batman Arkham Knight. Anthem, Cyberpunk 2077, what are some other games that I remember when Grand Theft Auto Online came out, and that didn't do so hot, but it was like Grand Theft Auto 5 did do good. It just was the online mode where it was like it didn't do so hot. But what other games that didn't do so well? Anyway, so Anthem, so they had announced a while ago, like maybe some point in time last year, that they were going to start working on like something to overall fix the whole experience of that game, right? So they announced that, talk on it for a little bit, promote it for a little bit, just for them to come out and say yesterday that they will be shutting down all development with the game Anthem. And I was like, wow. I honestly thought that game was going to make a comeback. I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and I didn't see anything. So eventually, I mean, yeah, it's like, you have to give up, and that's what I did. I gave up, and I was just like, I'm not going to wait on this game anymore. I'm like, yo, it's like if that game was supposed to do something, it should have did something, but they was all like, No, they was like, we just gonna go ahead and just cancel all development towards that game, so ain't nobody playing nothing. And I'm like, that is wild. Dang. All right then. Well, I guess there's that. So, but yeah, but it's one of those things where I'm like, what did you really expect? The game didn't do so hot. Nobody was playing it, so like, of course nobody's not gonna be. Even when they do come out with a new update, they're like, ain't nobody gonna want to, because I think what they were trying to head down was the same path as No Man's Sky. I remember when No Man's Sky came out, because that was the whole reason why I even went out of my way to go buy a PlayStation. But I remember when No Man's Sky came out, and I bought me a PlayStation, bought No Man's Sky, went home, played it, game was trash. I didn't like it. Now they came out with this new update, and they fixed the game, and so now the game is good. Now it's worth playing. And I think that that's what they were trying to do with Anthem, but it was way too difficult to focus on that. And I'm like, and that's the crazy thing about it. It's like, Anthem's not even a big game like No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, I have to say, is probably the biggest game ever. But Anthem is like, I mean, it had like a big map. I thought that game was like a cool concept, because I was like, bro, you got like these Iron Man like suits and stuff, and you just flying around taking out things. And so I thought that was dope. I thought it was a cool concept, but I think maybe if it was the only way I feel like that game could make a comeback is if like some big YouTuber plays it and they give that game a chance and then gets a bunch of people to play it. That would be the only way. But other than that, like, because look at the success of Among Us. The developers was most likely giving up on that game, wasn't even talking on that game. All of a sudden, a big YouTuber played it. Everybody started playing it. Next thing you know, Among Us is like one of the biggest games to be released from 2018, but it did good this year. So, yeah, bro, it's like there's just certain games out there. I'm like, yeah, you guys maybe should have waited a little bit on that game, because from release date all the way up until yesterday, Anthem was probably one of the worst games to ever come out. So, more power to them. I think they said that EA was going to focus on other games. I'm like, yeah, maybe focus on your sport games. How about that? Focus on your guys' sport games like Madden and stuff. But anyways, what else? Yeah, I hope and pray the best for Xbox. To everybody that got an OG PlayStation 4, I think it's about time you at least go and get you a PlayStation Pro or something. If you can't get the 5, get you like the latest PlayStation, because I'm pretty sure them things is like dirt cheap right now, since people are not really wanting to buy them, since the PlayStation 5 is like the biggest thing that's out right now. So it's like the biggest thing, but nobody have it and stuff, unless it's like some YouTuber all like, hey, so I'm doing a giveaway, get this video to 10,000 likes, and I'll give you guys a PlayStation. Yeah, it's like when you got a YouTuber like that, they'd be the only ones, and then it's like you got maybe the people out there that's like me, they actually wanted the console and wanted to play it. But I don't know. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Suggest go out and get something so you will be able to play the games you want to play. But anyways, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Reviewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe. However it's set up. I have 31 YouTube channels, okay, including my podcast channel. So go check it out. Show love, support, do what you can. And yeah, that being said, I will talk to you guys. Oh yeah, and follow me on Twitch, social media, Instagram, Twitter, all of them at TMossBoss. Like my page, TMossBoss on Facebook. And now I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.